Boulder. This is Coach Prime's Playbook with Romy Bean. Now your host, Romy Bean, and the coach of the CU Buffs, Deion Sanders.
Going for the home run ball, wide open downfield, catch at the 35, there goes Amarian Miller, it's Miller time! All kinds of time, whips it back corner, and the catch is made! Touchdown! 4th down and 1 from the 18, he sticks in the gut of Sama, and the Buffs stack him up and hold him right there! They're gonna throw, sets to throw, over the middle, down the field, Joseph Williams with the grab at the 45! The Colorado Buffaloes have knocked off number 21 Iowa State, 24-17.
Offense, you did your thing. Are we better?
Yes, sir.
Defense, you did your thing. But are we better?
Yes, way better.
Hello, everyone. Welcome into Coach Prime's Playbook. We missed you last week over the bye week and sitting down with the one and only Coach Prime. How was the bye week?
It was good. Went to Texas. First, I had an appearance in L.A. with John McEnroe. How about that?
Ooh.
One of my heroes. And I told him, I said, yeah, I need you to understand this. I just started taking up tennis as another sport. And I called myself John Black'n'Roe.
Yeah, what'd he say?
He just started laughing his butt off. He couldn't believe it. I said, I'm serious. I called myself John Black'n'Roe because of who he was growing up to me. Not that he's that much older, but he was unbelievable. And he challenged everything, and he had this fire and this passion of winning.
Yeah.
And so he taught me a lot as a kid.
The fiercest of competitors.
Yes, he was.
Did he give you any advice on tennis?
No, I'm not going to say that, but he was hilarious. I mean, us on stage together, it was something to behold.
That is awesome. I love that. You know, it's so interesting. You come off this great win over Iowa State, and it's always good to get a bye week, but kind of unfortunate timing in regards to momentum. So how do you keep the momentum going now?
Well, you keep them engaged. We worked our butts off before we allowed them to leave, and then when we got back on Sunday, we worked. We worked yesterday. I changed up the whole schedule this week. I implemented a whole new schedule to just change it a little bit to get them going, and it was much more physical practices, every practice that we've had thus far since Sunday, but the kids are responding tremendously.
How have you seen this team in regards to kind of their confidence grow, and maybe even after that win as the season's gone on?
They've always had confidence. It's just been the inconsistencies at certain positions. And we're seeing consistency in practice. If you don't see it in practice, you're not going to see it out there. And some kids, unfortunately, think they can hit the light switch and turn it on, and not understanding they didn't pay the bill for the electric. So the lights don't work. You can't do that. You gotta practice those habits. So when you get in front of company, you're able to do the doggone thing.
Yeah. I like that analogy. You got to pay the bill.
There you go.
I feel like we saw the best game thus far from Kaidon Salter. Do you feel like he took a step? He's had a breakthrough?
Well, he's capable of playing like that each and every week, but it starts in practice. You want to see the consistency in practice. Threw the heck out the ball today. I mean, threw the heck out the ball today. Made quick, sound decisions and ran when he had to. So I can't wait to see this continue for another couple practices and take it on to the game.
Something that you did that went viral for such great reasons. It was such an overwhelming positive reaction, which we know isn't always the case, but you had this scrimmage specifically for guys to get portal film.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I had the scrimmage for all of us.
Everybody.
Yeah, except for the starters.
Okay.
So, on Sundays we come in, we practice. A lot of those guys don't get to play on Sundays in front of this wonderful sellout crowd every week. So with those guys, they have an intense practice on Sundays. So that guy that got injured, that next guy's up. And I got to get him ready starting Sunday, not Tuesday, because we're off on Mondays. So just giving those guys that never get to play, I want them to feel what it was like to play in a game. So we had the cheerleaders on hand. We had the officials on hand. They dressed in game uniforms, and we went at it. So it wasn't just for the guys that may venture to get in the portal. It was for all the guys that really don't play as often.
I love that, though. I love that you kind of accept the reality of what college football is. Maybe you're going to stay, maybe you're not.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
It is what it is, and my calling is to help everybody. It's not just to help the guys that are starters and going to the NFL. What about the guys that give you everything they got, but they may not have the ability? So that doesn't mean they're not going to be a professional. They may not be a professional football player, but you got to give them the ability to be a professional.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Well, that was so cool. that you did that. Let's take a look at the guys who are going to play on Saturday for time for Who's Next. And it's a date in Salt Lake City against the Utah Utes, coming off a heartbreaking loss of the Holy War. I love it, it's called the Holy War. They lost to BYU just by 3. Kyle Whittingham, 30 years at Utah, 20 of those as a head coach, only 3 losing seasons, which is just absolutely tremendous. Let's hear from the longest tenured head coach in the Big 12.
I know they're 3-4, but the combined record of those 4 losses of the teams they played is 25-3. I mean, they've played some really good teams, and so they are much better football team than their record indicates. I can tell you that for certain. And so we got to be at our best and be ready.
Tremendous respect for your program. I know you have tremendous respect for theirs. And when I think of Utah, I think the word that comes to mind is just consistency.
Yeah.
What do you see from that program?
Well, they have the personality of their coach. They're big, strong, tough, agile, consistent, persistent. These guys do the little things right. And that's what you got to practice doing yourself. They're not going to hand it to you.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take it.
And you mentioned it there, a ton of physicality, a great defense. It feels like it's always the same thing no matter which players come in and out. What is the biggest challenge for you guys on Saturday?
This week I put 7 points on the scoreboard every time we practice. We look up there, we see 7. So we got to feel like we're going there down by 7. And we got to overcome that adversity to begin with. Then we got to overcome several adversities in the game that may not go our way. But we got to fight through those adversities and come out of there with the victory. So we got to play twice as good as we would normally play.
Oh, I absolutely love that. All right. On that note, I'm going to chew on that for a minute. We're going to take a break. Coming up on the other side, we're going to talk to a player who's really come into his own this season. We sit down with Jeremiah Brown on the other side.
4th down and 1 from the 18. Ball left hash mark. Rocco Becht is out of the shotgun. He's got a running back to his right. He sticks in the gut of Sama, and the Buffs stack him up and hold him right there. It's a turnover on downs. How about that Colorado defense?
Welcome back into Coach Prime's Playbook, and we are so excited today to be sitting down with Jeremiah Brown. So excited to have you on. You've been here for the whole Coach Prime experience, the whole era. You were with him at Jackson State. I want to know, first off, why'd you want to come to Colorado with him?
Honestly, just trusting his vision.
Yeah.
He's a very faithful man, consistent man, most disciplined man I ever met in my life. And from day one, when he told me that we was going to win, I believed in him, and he said I was going to have an opportunity to play at the next level. I always believed and trusted in it. So I seen his vision and believed in it.
It's been really fun watching your journey, Jeremiah, and I kind of want to talk to you about, can you talk us through, you put your name in the portal, you take it out the portal, you decide to stay. What went into that, and why did you ultimately decide to stay?
Just to be honest, I was being emotional in my feelings. Things weren't going my way, which that's life. Things not going to go your way. And I just had to look at myself in the mirror and understand I had to play better. No coaches just hold you out on the field just because one person is not better than you, and that's his favorite guy or something. Like, their job on the line, too, and they put a play out there, and they got to trust them. So I had to look myself in the mirror and understand what I need to work on, and I worked on it.
That's so impressive, that honesty and that reflection. I think that's hard in any work of life to kind of realize that. And that's certainly paid dividends. You are most certainly balling out this year. I think you're 3rd on the team in tackles, 2nd in tackles for loss. What has contributed to your success this year?
Just being consistent with a schedule. Coach Prime says the word consistent every morning, no matter what he's talking about, as far as being on time, wearing the right stuff, or being in your playbook and watching film. So I just had to build myself a right schedule and lean on the vet guys like Bentley and Cam and just follow their path. They're at the next level for a reason.
Some of those guys, Bentley, Cam, what did they teach you?
Cam, that was my roommate, so I seen his day-to-day life and how he approached the game day in, day out. As soon as he done with practice, he recovering, then he going home, watching film, and he coming up meeting with his coach. I had to follow that same game plan. That's all I did.
What do you like most about playing for Coach Prime?
It's a lot of things. For me, honestly, I just love Coach Prime, just like I said before, how consistent he is, like, and how the belief he brings into you. Like, even when we went through those 2-3 games that we lost, he never stopped believing. Every game we went into, he said, I believe we're going to win this game by so-and-so amount of points. I believe we're going to do this. I believe we're going to stop the run. And just the way he speaks things into existence, you can see why he's so successful.
I love that. We got a really exciting matchup coming up, and it was fun off air. I could tell just how excited you are to take on Utah, which has got such a great run game. What's the challenge this week? How do you slow them down?
Hard edges on the defense. Their perimeter run game, C-gap issues. We just have to stay disciplined and do our job. Don't be trying to be the Superman and make a play. When you see something, just stay in your gap and trust your teammate, and we'll be all right.
Where would you tell me, where do you feel like this team is right now? You obviously had the bye week, but you come off this big win over Iowa State. In terms of where you guys are in the season, how could you evaluate where this team is right now?
What do you mean, like mentally?
Yeah, mentally, physically, where you're at. Kind of feels like it was a little slow start and you guys are maybe hitting your stride?
Yeah, it was just trusting in one another. I say was the biggest thing. We didn't trust each other at first. And then, you know, it's hard with the portal teams. We lost almost all of our starters, 2 returning starters on defense. So we all had to, you know, move some pieces in chess like it is and then find those right matchups for each other. But I think we all trusting in each other, believing in each other. Coach Swasey brought us up sitting over there, too, in the game right before Iowa State that Sunday. And he said we got to get back to how we was in summer workouts, challenging each other, pushing each other. It was a fight, it was a want to, and we kind of lost our way in that. And Coach Swasey brought it back for us, and we made it happen.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. And the perfect lead-in, Jeremiah, thank you for joining us. Good luck this weekend. Good luck the rest of the season. And you said it, we're going to talk to Coach Swasey next. We'll talk to him a little bit about what he had to say. We'll be right back here on Coach Prime's Playbook. Welcome back into Coach Prime's Playbook, and we've been wanting to get this gentleman on all year. Coach Andreu Swasey, kind enough to join us. And actually, I'm really glad that it happened to be now because we got to talk to you about after the Iowa State game. This was post-game, getting up on that podium, dancing a little bit. Can you take us into what happened here?
That was not planned.
Okay.
So, you know, but I was just standing around the stage, you know, waiting till, you know, the music was playing. But then they threw me on the stage.
Okay.
That kind of, and that I was in the moment, I guess I had to respond. So I just, moves I see them do, so I just...
I love it. The players were loving it.
Yeah, no, you know, 'cause they see me in a different light sometimes, like, you know, always been strict, but, you know, balancing on them with the discipline and all that stuff. But then now to see me let down, let loose, and have fun. But it's kind of what the game is about. I mean, we work real hard. They, you know, had a great game, did a great deed, so I guess it's the perfect timing at the time.
Coach, your impact has certainly been felt and seen on the field and off the field from when we talk to these players. Why did you want to come here and work with Coach Prime and work with this program?
No, it was a golden opportunity to get back into college, and working with Coach Prime, I mean, who wouldn't? And we also have like similar acquaintances who know each other, so they was telling me about it. And far as knowing, I didn't know him away from me, I just knew of him. But yet talking about our personalities and our beliefs, and so we got the same values and discipline, so I was like all excited for the opportunity.
I mean, you have built incredible athletes over the years and incredible programs and sent guys to the pros and guys that are now in Pro Football Hall of Fame. What is your secret? What's the secret sauce?
I mean, I think most important is connecting, making sure being a mirror for the guys. Like holding you accountable to your dreams. So I say that if this is what you want, it's no shortcut. You know, there's only one way to the top, and that's like, you know, holding them accountable to whatever you want, not letting them find no easy way out.
What is the biggest challenge and the most rewarding part about working with college athletes?
One, the biggest thing is they're going to be entering to adulthood, like changing the world, like getting out into society. And some making dreams come true. Some all don't go off to be in the National Football League, but then some go out to be productive human beings in society. So teaching them like the fundamentals of like life, like and seeing them grow from 18 to 22 and 23 and seeing them just blossom and turn into young men and become good fathers, good citizens and all that stuff. So it's rewarding to see them win on the field, but also most importantly win as people and develop, and that's what I'm all about.
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us today. It's so amazing to have you part of this program. Again, I can see your impact is so felt on and off the field. So thanks for taking the time today. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Glad for having me. Appreciate it.
We got more coming up with Coach Prime coming up on the other side. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back into Coach Prime's Playbook, and we're taking a left turn here, talking about your other sport, and we just can't not talk about this unbelievable performance from Shohei Ohtani. 6 shutout innings, he strikes out 10, and he hits 3 home runs.
He hit 6 shutout innings.
Yes.
He struck out 10.
Struck out 10.
And hit what?
3 home runs. Can you put that into words?
Okay, just give him the MVP trophy and just let him go on about his business. Like that That's unheard of.
Yeah.
It's unheard of. You know what I like about it most of all, though, is that the versatility that he's being allowed to pitch and to play. I hope that opens the doors for other pitchers that are great hitters. Because most of the time, when you grow up in Little League, your best player was the pitcher, the first baseman, the catcher. He did everything.
Right.
But you grow up and they tell you, well, you can't pitch and play.
Right.
You got to just pitch. And when I played for the Atlanta Braves, let me tell you something. Glavine, Sherholtz, Avery, all those guys, man. I know I'm forgetting a couple of those guys, but they were phenomenal hitters because they used to hit before we took BP before the game, and they used to launch. Maddox, those guys are unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I love that. It's, you know, you got Shohei, you got Travis. You got a lot of these two-way stars.
Man. Yeah.
I mean, do you think he's in line to go down as the greatest ball player of all time? I know there's some greats.
Yeah, there are, but I'm going to tell you what. He makes a case because he's consistent. Every year you know what you're getting.
Yeah. All right, so I want to ask you about our Colorado Rockies. They've suffered 300 lost seasons. They're going through some changes, going to get a new GM. If you put your GM hat on, what do you think this team needs to be successful?
I don't watch baseball enough to do that.
Okay,
I can't do it no justice. But as a former baseball player, the teams that I played on that were really good had pitching. Had at least 3 of the starters that you knew what you were going to get. Yeah. Yeah, you know, the other 2, you know, you don't know, but at least 3 to 4 of those guys, I would identify starting pitchers, a closer that's phenomenal, and let's work up the middle. Catchers, your pitchers, short, second, center fielder, and build around that.
I love it. Well, there you go. That's the game plan. We'll see. We'll see if they follow it. Coach, a privilege as always. Thank you for joining us.
Outfit is fly. You guys got to see this outfit. She is killing the game. Killing the game.
Go. Day made. See you guys next week.
This has been Coach Prime's Playbook with Romy Bean.